This is Roger with iGadgetGeek, and I have another case review for the HTC Vivid. This is the AGF TPU leather insert case. It is a kind of a TPU material, but it is not glossy. It has more of a matte finish, and along the sides it has kind of a tread pattern along both sides. And you have this nice leather insert along the back. The interior of it is multiple layers within this case, and it actually does have quite a bit of protection. When you have this case, you can feel it. It almost has a thin layer of padding in it. Right here along the back, you can kind of see that kind of pattern, and it actually does have a little bit of give to it. So it's going to be a very nice case. It's going to give you some protection. Now, it's not going to give you, say, as much protection as the Commuter from OtterBox or the Defender, but it's going to give you considerably more protection than no case at all, but it's not going to add much bulk to this Vivid. This is the thinnest case I've reviewed to date for the HTC Vivid. So let's go ahead and take my Vivid and stick it in to the case. Before we do that, I want to show you this lock screen because I know you'll have questions. This is the latest version of Widget Locker, and you can download that from the Android market. I like to start with the bottom side, lining it up, and then you just work one side of the top and then the other. It's very easy install. It snaps around and actually has a lip on all four corners that kind of fits it into all the edges, the plastic that surrounds the glass. And that keeps the sides from being loose. Now, a lot of TPU cases that I've reviewed, one of their major drawbacks is the sides are very loose. You can pull on them, but as you can see here, you actually have to really pull on this case to get it to come apart, because the way it's designed, there's a small lip on these edges here that actually lock it into that plastic piece that surrounds the glass. It's by far one of the best fitting TPU cases that I've ever reviewed on any phone. I'm going to have to say it's a great case. It fits very well. Now, the only place I've seen you can purchase this case is at a corporate AT&T store or on their website, and it retails for $35. For the money, it's one of the best cases out there, in my opinion, for the Vivid. It gives you a lot of protection, it doesn't add a lot of bulk, and it just fits very well to the phone. Let's go ahead and take a look around at the case itself. On the bottom, you have one nice cutout for your microphone. On the left-hand side, you have a cutout there for your sync and charge cable. On the very top, you have a cutout for your 3.5mm headphone jack. Your sleep-wake button is covered. On the right-hand side, you have your volume up and down, and you can see that tread pattern is on both sides, and it really gives you something to grip on. And with that nice leather insert on the back with the stitching, it gives it a really nice textured feel to the back of the case instead of just being, you know, slick plastic or anything. It gives it a little something extra on the feel. Now on the very back, you have separate cutouts for your secondary mic, your 8-megapixel camera, your dual LED flash, and on the top there you can see these little slots that go all the way around. That is for your speakerphone. Now you do get a nice lay on the table lip all the way around. Now the buttons themselves, it is a little stiffer on the sleep wake button. I would say it's a little easier than the Spec Candy Shell, but not as soft as, say, the Commuter case for OtterBox. But after you used it for a while, you get kind of used to it, and it's by no means stiff or hard to push, but it does give it a little bit more of an intentional push to it. You're not going to accidentally bump that button, which I kind of like. I kind of like those buttons to be a little stiffer. That way when you're putting them in or out of your pocket, you're not actually going to push them. Now, one of my favorite things is the volume up and down. The placement on the Vivid, if you're not used to it, these buttons get pushed a lot by accident in my experience. So these buttons are a little stiffer to push, so you're not accidentally pushing those volume up and down all the time. But they're very responsive when you intend to push them, but you're not going to accidentally push it, you know, just by putting your thumb up against it, which I've ran into in my personal experience. Those volume up and down get pushed a lot by accident. More than likely that's because I use so many different phones. The placement of those are quite different compared to most other Android phones, but I actually, being a left-handed person, I'm growing to really like the placement of those volume buttons. So that's kind of been my short little quick review of the AGF TPU leather insert case for the HTC Vivid. Now you can pick this up at the AT&T website or any corporate store, and it does retail for $35. This has been Roger with iGadgetGeek.